Hey guys, how's it going? So hopefully I can avoid any loud trucks today. Thinking about you, Parker. So, frustrations over inexperience in kink. There was an interesting question, rant, whatever, about a sub who was frustrated over inexperienced DOMs and their lack of aftercare and all that sort of stuff, despite the fact that they've complained many a times to prospective DOMs about the lack of aftercare and shown them lots and lots of articles and did negotiations and all that sort of other stuff. That's the thing though, of course they're inexperienced with you, your reactions, how to deal with you, and yeah, you got to give it time. She also expressed the fact that she would like to, her preference was to actually do exploration in kink with a dom. I'm like, but okay, there are some things that you can and can't do or experience or learn. You can only do it with in a dynamic, whether it's short term or long term. But the majority of things that you can experience in the kink lifestyle, you don't actually need a dom for. You can do it with tops. You can do it with people that you regard as friends, and they can help you get that experience. And through them, you can actually, or maybe find somebody that you want to experience that within a dynamic, or not at all. You can find out that I don't really need them. It doesn't have to be what other people are doing. That's the beauty about it. Now, a lot of the responses were, oh my god, that's abusive, and that's how a lot of abusive DOMs are. It's like, no, that's just inexperience and awkwardness, and people that are, she might be a bit too demanding for them, or they might not understand, or they might get frustrated, and they're like, why, I want this to be fun, I want to learn as well, and I'm not learning because I'm getting frustrated because I'm not getting proper feedback from this particular sub or whatever. Plenty of other things, not to say either is wrong, they're just not matched up properly. Running or expecting or looking specifically for relationships, you either have to be very, very clear on what you want, in which case you need to know yourself very well, which puts into my mind, why do you specifically need a dom for aftercare? Because then you should also have your own network set up where you should be able to take care of yourself, thereby also enhancing further relationships with dominance, because then you know what signs and symptoms you have. You're able to level out and go, okay, this is what happens at this time and this experience, or okay, I've never had that reaction before, and you get feedback and all that, or they just have no idea what they want. In which case, must take it slowly, because you're both learning about each other. As I said before, it doesn't matter that how many years you've spent with somebody. You could be starting something new or exploring something else, and you need to go back to the beginning and go, right, this is something new that I've not played with them or done something with them with. Go back to the beginning of your feedback, talking to each other. As tedious as people find that, it is, to me, pretty much essential. It can be fast-tracked, don't get me wrong, but you've got to make sure that the same reactions, same responses are there that you previously relied on with something new. That will reduce a lot of anxiety, stress, stop mistakes happening, or help clarify different situations and see whether you actually really like it or not. But yeah, so with regards to that, I could say the same thing about S types. When you look at it that way, they complain about D types not giving proper aftercare and all that sort of stuff. I said, well, what about S types? You can get D types to go, well, I can complain because there's so many inexperienced subs in the world and I'm sick and tired of it. I let them know what I want, I let them know what's expected of them, and they keep failing. It's frustrating because they don't do what I tell them to. They're not experienced in X, Y, and Z. They say that they are, but they don't meet up my expectations. Now, the response to that would be, well, you're expecting too much, you've got to go slow and you've got to let them learn. So whenever I find people that do put a general, all doms are inexperienced and they're all suck, I kind of say, well, why don't you flip it around and change the terminology from all doms to all subs, and then apply an appropriate qualifier in that. Morning, Shirley. Hope you're doing well, girl. Yeah, because I mean, you're finding lots and lots of people these days. A lot of more people are getting into it. A kink lifestyle is no longer alternative. I hate to say this to you guys, I think you're really special, but it is no longer alternative. People might say, okay, well, my workplace doesn't approve, and that's just, but see, that's the thing, it's like the secret that everybody knows about. Like, I'd say, but the Freemasons used to be a supposedly secret society, but everybody knew about it, so it's no longer a secret society. But it's just one of those things. Since things like 50 Shades of Grey came out and all that sort of other stuff, it's a lot more accepted. People will accept it, but that doesn't mean you throw it in people's faces, doesn't mean that it's out there. It just means that, a lot of people understand that people do things that they might not necessarily want other people to know. It's not because they're ashamed, it's because they want it to be private, they want it to be theirs. I mean, that's the thing. If you had an intimate relationship with someone, would you want them telling everybody everything about it, or is it really any of their business? That's the way I kind of look at it. That a lot of people know, that they know that you know that they know that they know, but it's not necessarily have to be put in everybody's faces. And quite literally, there's a few situations where it would be inappropriate to talk about such things because, well, clear lines of delineation and all that sort of thing. Anyway, so with regards to inexperienced DOMs and things like aftercare and all that, take your time with each other, negotiate really well, provide feedback to each other, particularly the DOMs to the subs saying, look, you're not giving me the signals that I want. I don't understand what you mean by when you say this. I don't get it. And don't go passive aggressive, guys. That just really doesn't help because they cannot read your mind. That's really silly. If you're having issues, say, look, I'm having issues. Can you suggest ways that I deal with it? But ultimately, I fall back to the same thing. If you're going to be playing with people, make your own network of support. Friends, family, get to know yourself better because that is invaluable not only to you. If you do come across DOMs that don't provide the level of aftercare that you're after, but you still want to play with them, and just if anything goes wrong, because you got that fallback, that security, that knowledge of self as well. Okay, that's enough ranting. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure everyone's come across DOMs that hadn't provided aftercare that they had wanted, but think of it this way: did you provide feedback? What did you negotiate specifically with them? Time, all that sort of other stuff. Did you say to the DOM, by the way, I require at least 1 hour of cuddles, and then for the next month I require you to check up on me? Did you specify that? In which case, some DOMs will go, you know what, I'm not going to play with you because my aftercare is to check up on you within for half an hour. Once you're up and running, my obligation to you is over. You're fine, you're cognizant. If you're okay to drive or walk around, that's fine. I don't do follow-ups afterwards. I might check in and say, how you doing? But I'm not going to go running over there with a water bottle or a big fluffy toy or anything like that, okay? Keep that in mind, because they do also have a life, a lot of them. They don't just sit there and wait for you to say, by the way, my pinky's hurting, okay? Catch you later, guys. Bye.